Hi, this is Isaac and you're watching Isaac's Bushcraft and Survival. Today I'm going to be showing you 6 different fire starters that you can use in a survival situation, or you can use it on bushcraft adventures or even just during camping. And I'll be showing you what the pros and cons to them are, what ones work better than others, and what my personal favorite is, and as well as what tools work best to ignite them. So let's get into it. Now the first one I find really effective to use and what really works good for ferro rods is dead dry grass. It also works well for doing bow drills, hand drills, or plow fire starting methods. It also works great if you use a magnifying glass to ignite it. I've done magnifying glass fires to where you just focus the beam on it and it bursts into flames. The pros to it are it's very fine, it's easy to find all over the place. It works great for igniting bigger things like birch bark, but the problem with it is that during rain it gets very wet and you can't use it. So the biggest thing that you should do is keep it dry. Otherwise, it won't ignite. You can try like 12 times with a ferro rod and it won't do anything. And that goes for all of these different ones I'm going to be showing you on this video. Your best bet is to keep them dry, otherwise they won't ignite. So, another great one that I find very, very helpful is cedar bark. Cedar bark's one of those that works very, very well. You can use it for magnifying glass fire. By focusing the beam in it, it creates a coal and you can blow it into flames. And you can create your fire that way. You can also use it for a ferro rod. You can use a ferro rod on it. You can also use a bow drill, put the coal inside, wrap it around and blow and create a fire that way. Again, you have to make sure it's dry, otherwise it won't burn well. Any of these that have moisture, it won't work. So you have to make sure you keep them dry. Most of the fire starting you do, you want to make sure that you pre-plan. I mean, fire is 90% pre-planning, 10% doing it. So basically focus that 90% on keeping your stuff dry and you'll have successful fires most of the time. It also works great for hand drills, plows. Doesn't work good for flint and steel. It's just not fine enough to catch that spark because flint and steel isn't quite as hot as ferro rods. Flint and steel is like 800 degrees. Ferro rods are about 5,000, the sparks that come off, so it doesn't work well for flint and steel. Another great one is to use steel wool. Now, I've done some tests with steel wool. I find that I enjoy how it works. Yeah, it works great for a ferro rod. It ignites very readily and it glows hot, like orange hot, so you can create a really good fire with it. Another thing, you absolutely have to keep this dry, otherwise it'll just turn into a big old rust ball. So, but yeah, it also works great if you take a 9-volt battery and touch it, it'll also ignite it. That's a great way to ignite it in a survival situation as well. I haven't tried using that for a flint and steel fire. I'm guessing it would be fine enough to catch a spark. I just haven't tried that one yet. I plan to do that on future videos. I plan on doing a lot of different fire starting and showing you how to start the different fires in future videos. But another one that I find very effective is dryer lint. Now with dryer lint, I have kind of mixed views on that. It works pretty effectively, but you got to make sure that you don't have it made mostly of polyester, because polyester is plastic basically, which will melt more than it will ignite. So you want to make sure you have one that's from like cotton clothes or natural fiber clothes, because then it'll ignite and burn better versus melting with a ferro rod. So yeah, this works great for a ferro rod. I haven't really tried it with any other options. My guess is you could probably use a flint and steel on it. I haven't tried it. But yeah, that's the biggest thing, is to make sure that it's not polyester, because otherwise it won't work. It won't ignite. It won't work. You have to make sure that it's natural fiber, because natural fibers burn much better and much longer and hotter than plastic basically. And another one that I find, this is actually my favorite fire starter, is birch bark. Now birch bark, it's got a lot of great qualities to it. It's got a lot of natural oils that will ignite with a lighter or a ferro rod. The hardest part with a ferro rod is it's not fine enough to ignite with a ferro rod. So you have to somehow make it very, very fine and be able to ignite it. It works good if you put grass first, ignite the grass, and then the grass ignites the birch bark. But the birch bark itself, like I said, it works great for a lighter. It ignites and it burns hot because of the natural oils are very volatile and can ignite. I haven't used it much for bow drill fires. You can use that for it. Like I said, it works best to use the cedar for bow drills and then put your birch bark on top of it. But yeah, like I said, if you find a way to make it fine, you can use it for a ferro rod, and that's very effective, very useful. And what's great about it is also it's very water resistant. So I haven't done a lot of water tests with it, but if it's slightly moist, it'll still burn because of the oils it has. So that's where it comes very handy. It works great for those different methods. It's all around my favorite, and I use it every time I go bushcraft or survival or even camping. It's just a great fire starter. And another one that I find very effective and very helpful is char cloth. Now char cloth is a very effective one for specifically flint and steel fires because it's very, very fine enough to where it can catch that spark from flint and steel and you can cause a fire that way. You can also use a ferro rod on it, but it works better for flint and steel because you can use a ferro rod on dead dry grass and cedar bark. That one, it's not as effective as others for a ferro rod, but it works great for flint and steel. I also have tried it with I haven't tried it with dead lighters yet. You can use dandelion fluff to make fire starter for dead Bic lighters. I'm guessing you can do the same with this. I haven't tried it yet. I plan on trying it in future videos. But it works all around really well for fire starting because once you strike flint and steel onto it, it creates a glowing red coal, and you can use that to ignite dead dry grass, birch bark, cedar bark, or a lot of those other more coarse fire starting tinders. So that's a very effective one. And there's also other options. There's cattail fluff. There's a lot of other options for that. There's also, you can use a lot of different there's a lot of different fine tinders you can use out there that you find. You just kind of have to experiment, play with it, and see which ones work best for you. If you find any that work really well, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. And going back to the steel wool, the biggest thing that I like about it is you can find it in hardware stores. So you can buy it in bulk and use it. It's very effective that way. I like that about it. That's probably my second favorite out of all these, just because it's very hot. It burns very hot. It removes moisture from a lot of stuff, like dead dry grass. If there's moisture in that, it'll remove it as it's glowing orange. So yeah, those are some of the favorite fire starting tinders I have that I like to use. Like I said, in the comments, if you have any that you find better or find that work best for you, let me know. I'd like to try them out and see how they work. Also, stay tuned for future videos because I plan on showing you how to make a bow drill fire. I plan on showing you how to start a fire with a dead lighter in a survival situation. I'll show you how to do a fire with a ferro rod. I'll be teaching you how to do it that way. I will also be teaching you how to start a fire with a magnifying glass. I'll probably do that in a short or a video, depending on how long it is. I will also, in future videos, be showing you how to do water filtration foraging during the spring and summer months and fall. And I'll also be showing you how to do different shelter building setups and ideas and just general bushcraft survival. And I'll be taking you out into the woods to show you some of those things. So stay tuned for future videos, and I will see you next time.